Hello, welcome fifth graders. This is our week 5 of technology class. So let's see, what did I want to say? Well, I wanted to just go back just to remind you guys. So in case you forgot to do anything, so I believe most of you guys have been keeping up with the assignments every week. So thank you. And then there's a few of you that you're missing some things. So please make sure that you catch up. So I was just going to quickly show you. So in week 1, I showed you how to make your own Google account. So please make sure, I think there was only 2 people that I did not get a Google account from. And I believe it was, just to confirm, Carolini and then Lucas A. So those are the 2 people I did not get an email from you with your Gmail. You were supposed to start your own Google account. If you watch this first video, it shows you how to do it. So please do that because it's important. We've been using that for all of our assignments, okay? Then in week 2, we used Google Docs with some Shel Silverstein poems, and I showed you guys how to format and text align. So just some basic functions that you can use inside of Google Docs. In week 3, we started second step lesson 1, and we also started our typing. So everybody had to do a typing assessment. And then in week 4, we learned how to do numbered and bulleted lists. So we did a slime recipe inside of Google Docs. And you also had another typing assignment. It was a skills builder assignment. And then this week, we're going to be doing second step lessons 2 and 3. And there'll be one homework with that. And then for your typing, you're doing the beginner review. So if I go into the typing, I can see about 53% of you did the first one. The second one, 21% of you. So please make sure you're doing the typing every week. If I see a yes next to your name that you did it, then you will receive 100. If I see that a no, that you didn't do the typing, then it's a 0. So it's really easy to get 100 on this. Just do the typing. And it's good for you to keep typing because normally we come into the technology room and I give you guys some time to do typing, but obviously we're not coming in here. So you really have to do it at home. And it's really shouldn't take you longer than 15 minutes at the most, I would say, to complete these typings. And so I know you guys have that time. Even if you set aside just once a week as your typing time for 15, 20 minutes, you're done. It could be on the weekend, it could be a weeknight, whatever it is, get your typing done. Okay, guys? So it'll always be under assignments. And then with your other homeworks, please make sure most of them, pretty much all of them, can be done through Google Docs and you can just share it through there. Even with the second step lessons, you can open them inside of Google Docs and it'll let you type in them. So really, it's so easy to get these things done. Okay, so this week our topic that we're talking about is listening with attention and being assertive. So the question is, why is it important to learn how to ignore distractions like friends, technology, and how can we be assertive to get what we need or want? So, with technology being in our lives so much, we really need to learn how to put away distractions and learn how to focus and listen with attention. I think it's probably one of the hardest things for people to do, even adults, right? Because even adults, they constantly have their phone with them, they're checking their phone, it's hard to just put it away. When you guys are at home, you probably have tablets at home, you have your TV, you have video games, you have so many different things. It can be easy to get distracted and just totally zone out. And then somebody's trying to call you and tell you something, dinner's ready. And you're just like, la, 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 you're on your thing, you're on your device. And, it transfers over to school too when you're in the classroom. If you haven't really practiced listening with attention, it's probably going to be hard for you. Maybe you're in the middle of a lesson and you find yourself distracted with a thought or distracted looking at what somebody else is doing, or I don't know, it could be a million zillion different things. So something that we really need to focus on is our attention. That's why I love doing these lessons as part of technology class, because I really just think that we can't separate the two. They need to go together, right? Okay, so let me move in. So I forgot to show the video last time, the funny music video. So I promised I would put it on this video. So here it is. You guys can have fun listening to it. You probably remember it from last year.
I bet you've had strong feelings coming from within. Hard to see another's point of view when you're in your own skin. Changing your perspective, thinking through your stuff. Empathy's not easy when the going gets rough. You know that it may be hard to think it through. Other people feeling different because they're not you. You gotta walk in their shoes. Take a look and see what they're seeing. Walk in their shoes. Try to understand what it would feel like to be them. You gotta walk in their shoes. Empathy is what we're saying. Recognize those feelings. You felt them too. That's empathy. You see, she's getting angry. You felt that feeling too. Embarrassed, jealous, scared, strong emotions through and through. Empathy's the pathway to recognize and walk, so you can dish out some compassion and really walk the talk. People showing strong feelings, what do you do? Show them that you get it. Treat them with kindness through and through. You gotta walk in their shoes. Take a look, see what they're seeing. Walk in their shoes. Try to understand what it would feel like to be them. You gotta walk in their shoes. Empathy is what we're saying. Recognize those feelings and reach out to, yeah, empathy. Empathy. Yeah, empathy.
Okay, guys, you got to see your favorite video, right? I bet you guys, you could sneak and watch it at home if you want. It's okay. I know you guys love it. Alrighty, so we're going to move right into the lesson. So the first part of the lesson is listening with attention. And we're going to watch 2 short video clips of these friends, these boys. And I want you guys to be looking, while you're watching the video, looking and listening for, is the friend listening with attention? And so, you know, just kind of what's going on in the video. And so I'll put on the first, so it's so tricky because normally with these lessons, we're together, we can actually discuss, you guys can share. So it's really, you know, kind of interesting doing it this way because obviously I'm just kind of talking to myself. But hopefully you're following along while you're listening to the video. And I just want you to be thinking in your head, what would you be sharing and saying if we were having a discussion on this, okay? So just try to use your imagination here, since obviously we're not all together. Okay, so let's put on the story and then listen to how it's going with the friends.
Okay, so tomorrow after school you're coming over to my house, right? We can work on a science project.
Man, I'm hungry. If I get to go to Antonio's house, maybe I can play his new video game. That'd be so cool. Wonder what it's like. Hey, DeAndre! Cool, look at his new shoes.
They won't let you on without a note.
Wonder when class starts. Hope I'm not late.
Okay, it's really important.
Oh, sorry, Antonio. I was listening very carefully. Is what you said important?
Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute. So we see the two boys here and what is going on, right? So we have Antonio and Caden. So the first question says, how do you think Antonio felt when he realized that Caden wasn't listening to him? So I'm sure that you could relate to this because, you know, imagine you're sharing with your friend something that's really important to you. And then they say to you, oh, wait, what'd you say? And you're just like, oh my gosh, they didn't even hear anything I said. How does it make you feel when somebody does that to you? Let me just use Lego Man because he's here. Lego Man, how does that make you feel? Angry, really, really angry, because I don't like it when people don't listen to me. And it makes me feel sad. And look at my mask. My mouth is sticking out and my nose is sticking out. I'm breaking the rules. Oh my gosh, he is breaking the rules, Lego Man. You need to fix your mask. You're on video. It makes me feel sad too, because that means that they don't care that, even though the only thing I ever talk about is Lego, 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 they should still listen to me because I'm a Lego and Legos are important to me. So, haha, just a little joke. But yeah, guys, you know, when someone's talking to you, it's really rude to be like thinking about other things at the same time and thinking about what you want to say next or what you want to do, because then you're not really listening with attention. And the person, they're going to end up, you know, feeling like you don't care about them. And, you know, you think about what the Bible says, that we're supposed to treat others the way we want to be treated. And if we're not listening, then people aren't going to probably listen to us, right? And so, yeah, you know, I get it. This is such a busy world. People are so busy, 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 busy. But we should never be too busy to just stop for a minute and listen to what our friend is saying, right? And actually care. So let's put on the second part and let's see the difference of what happens.
Sorry, Antonio. I wasn't listening very carefully. Is what you said important?
Okay, so tomorrow you're coming over to my house after school. We can work on the science project. If your mom says it's okay, you can stay for dinner. After the bell rings, we can meet at the back doors where the buses are. But you have to remember to bring a note, or else you can't ride on the bus.
Okay, so what should the note say?
It should say that you have permission to ride my bus.
All right, so we'll meet at the back door after the bell rings. I'll have a note, we'll work on the science project, and then we'll stay for dinner at your house if my mom says it's okay.
Great, you got it.
All right, yeah, cool, tomorrow will be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit different this time. What did you notice? What did you notice? Let me come back on. What did he do differently, the boy here, this time? So first off, he apologized, right? So, you know, we all slip up and maybe we're not listening to the fullest. We can apologize to people. That's, you know, that's the right thing to do. You can say, oh, I'm so sorry. I kind of zoned out for a minute, or I really wasn't focusing on what you were saying. Would you be able to say it again? And then when his friend started saying everything over again, this time, if you noticed, he actually was looking at him and he ended up repeating everything that he said to confirm that, did I understand what you said? And this is really important because you can use this, you know, when you're at school, at home, to check and make sure that you're hearing somebody right. You know, is that what you told me? Okay, is that what you just said? And then that way you're showing them that you're really trying to listen, and you actually care about what they're saying, and you're trying to make sure, you know, that you have it right. And some other things that, if you notice, he also asked questions too. So asking questions to people, that can also show that you're focusing and you're listening to them. Okay, so this is really important, especially nowadays when we text so much, right? You guys, you text through the phone, you chat through games and things like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't even used to picking up a telephone and calling somebody and actually talking to them, right? Maybe you're just used to always texting. And then you think about having a face-to-face conversation with somebody. It really does require practice to get used to really focusing our attention. And so this is something that you might need to work at. Because I bet if you just closed your eyes for a minute and you thought, what kind of a person am I? Do I always interrupt and think about what I want to say next and kind of like I'm in my own world? Or do I stop and actually listen to the words that the person is saying and ask them questions and show them that I care about them? What do I do? And you know, if you're the first person, the one that doesn't really listen too well, then you might really need to practice this. You know, it's just like any other skill that we learn, right? You keep practicing and practicing, you get better and better at it. It's the same thing with listening and with your attention. It's something that you might need to adjust. You might need to make changes to get better at it. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to the second part. So this is actually kind of like two separate lessons, but I'm doing this because I feel like they do kind of go together. And then I do want to try to keep up because there's a lot of lessons in the curriculum. So I'm just trying to, usually with 4th and 5th grade, I try to combine 2 of them in the week when we're doing the topic. So now we're going to talk about being assertive. So this is really important too. And this is something that can be used in person, online, you know, whether you're on the internet doing something. The way that you present yourself, the way that you communicate, there's 3 main ways of communication. The first one is to be passive. So you can be somebody who's very passive. That type of person, they might be, you know, the person that kind of doesn't really make eye contact when they're talking. They might mumble. They don't seem like they're very confident, like they kind of are kind of stumbling on their words, hesitant to really speak. Then there's the aggressive type of communicator. These people are very dominant. They might shout out a lot. They always have an opinion on something. They could come off as rude and disrespectful. I'm sure, you know, you're thinking, oh yeah, I know somebody like that, or maybe that's you. And both of those ways of communicating, passive and then aggressive, both of them, they're not ideal. And they're really not the great ways to communicate. So, you know, as you get older, you get in middle school, high school, college, and then your first career, learning how to communicate effectively and in a respectful way is going to really be important for you. Because not only will you be doing this through your writing, right? You'll be doing this through your speaking, how you speak to people. And learning how to communicate is a skill that you need for pretty much every job that you'll ever do in your life. Learning how to speak to different types of people. How do you deal with people that are aggressive? How do you speak to them? How do you speak to people that are passive? How do you get things that you need or want in the workplace, at home, in school, in a way that is respectful? So we're going to be learning about that in the lesson. So let me just tell you about the story here with the 2 girls. So we're going to be watching this video, and it's about a student who's trying to figure out the best way to get what she wants. So we're going to play the first part of the video, and let's see what happens. Okay, so let me put on the first part of the video.
Okay, listen up, you two. Here's what we'll do. We'll make a model of the molecule completely out of gumdrops. First, Toy, you're not very artistic, so you'll get all the pictures of the molecule off the internet.
Wait.
Then, Sierra, You'll be in charge of all the supplies. But I'll do all the building because I am very artistic. I know so much about science. I get the good grades at school, and let's just say you guys are not that good at science. Remember last year when we did our project?
Jayla's just taking over this project. I really want to have a say in what topic we choose. And we all need to have an equal share in the work. It's really hard to stand up to Jayla. She might get mad at me. I can tell Tori doesn't like her idea either. I'd wish she'd say something.
So this might look familiar to you guys, right? If you've ever had to work in a group or, you know, it's with a partner, you definitely know what's going on here, right? So when we look at the girls, immediately we have Jayla. And if I asked you guys, how is she communicating? I think all of you guys would say aggressively, right? She's being very rude, condescending. She's putting them down, bossy, mean. All these things are so, this is definitely not the way to communicate with people, especially if you ever want to have friends. Again, this is not the way to make friends. This is not the way to keep friends. This is the way to get rid of everybody in your life. And I don't think that's the goal of anyone. But she is really, really being nasty, right? Saying to them that, oh, I'm the best at science. I get the best grades. You don't know how to draw, so I'll do that. And you just print pictures off the internet. I mean, this is just terrible. So I really hope that this isn't how any of you guys speak to each other. And if it is, I sure hope that after today, you're doing a reality check and saying to yourself, oh my goodness, is that how I sound? I sure hope not. I don't want to be that kind of person. And you can make a change, right? So you know, when you get around somebody like that, so now if we think about it from both of these girls, their perspective, Sierra and then the other girl, we can see that they're definitely not too happy about this, right? They look pretty hurt, upset, and they're trying to figure out how can they handle Jayla? How can they handle somebody who's so aggressive? And now they're going to need to step up and be assertive, okay? And this is the best way that we can communicate, is assertively. That's when we're being respectful, but we're being firm at the same time. We're being calm. We're getting our point across. And that is something that we have to learn how to communicate assertively. And from the looks of it, both of these girls, they might, their nature might be to be passive. Maybe they're just quieter, you know, they're like, oh gosh, I don't know what to say to Jayla. You know, maybe they don't know how to handle it, right? And so it might be challenging for them to push out and become assertive, right? And so that might be you. You know, maybe you're sitting there like, yeah, you know, I don't know how to respond to aggressive people. I have a hard time with that. And it's hard for me to step out of my passive shell and become assertive. So let's take a look and let's see what they do. So you can look for clues and then we'll kind of talk about what we notice.
It's really hard to stand up to Jayla. She might get mad at me. I can tell Tori doesn't like her idea either. I'd wish she'd say something. Well, I guess it's up to me. Jayla, your idea sounds very interesting, but we need to make sure that everyone in the group gets to help make the decision about what we're going to do and have part in making it. Tori, remember last time when we did this project? You had some really great ideas. You need to let us know what you're thinking too. We all need to work together.
Okay, so when we look at what happens here, I guess some questions that I have for you guys are like, would that have been your, you know, first reaction? Is that how you would have handled it? Was there anything you would have added to it or said differently? You know, something I'm thinking of is it depends on kind of where you're at with the person. But if they're all really, you know, if they're friends, then it would have been okay even for Sierra to say, you know, what you said was hurtful. Like I felt hurt by what you said. Like, you know, if it's a true friend, they'll care about your feelings. If it's just an acquaintance, then, you know, sharing the feelings might not be a good idea because, you know, they're probably not really going to care if they're not, you know, somebody who's an actual friend. But what Sierra did was she just went about it in a very general way, you know, but she was firm and she was confident. You know, she said, excuse me, that was a nice idea, but there's 2 other people here in the group and we all need to share our ideas. And so she said it in a very respectful way. And she was clear, you know, in the correct way to go about doing the project, and that everybody gets an equal turn in sharing, right? So for you guys to think about is this would be a great example of how you could be assertive in a situation like this. And again, like, you know, the kids and the other people that you're working with. So if you feel comfortable sharing a little bit more with them, you know, going a little bit further in kind of explaining everything, you could, but definitely it can feel scary sometimes being assertive, you know, whether it's with peers or adults, like with a teacher. But it's something that we really do have to learn how to do in our life. And so I would challenge you guys this week, you know, maybe it's in the class, or maybe sometime you need help with something. Are you comfortable raising your hand and saying, you know, excuse me, I really didn't understand that. Could you please explain it again? And being assertive about it. What about at home? Can you be assertive in sharing maybe how you feel about something or your opinion about something in a respectful way? So it's something to definitely challenge you guys, especially as you're getting older now. So let me show you what the assignment that goes along with this. So let me see if I could zoom in a little bit. It's a really, really short assignment. So you're supposed to pretend that you're ask somebody, so you're kind of going to act it out. Pretend that an adult or somebody at your house, it works at the store. And you're going into the store and it says you need to ask help finding your favorite cereal. First, write down what you would plan to say and practice saying it. So just make up a pretend scenario. You know, I don't know how many of you guys have ever been in a store before, and maybe you were brave and courageous and you went up to the counter and said, excuse me, where can I find the Lucky Charms? And you weren't afraid to be assertive, right? To ask for help. So let's practice this week. So you could write down the words that you would say over here. And then this is our checklist. So it says, face the person you're talking to. So you don't want to have your body turned away. You want to be facing them. Keep your head up and your shoulders back. So you don't want to be like looking down. You just want to kind of be up in a normal kind of position. Use a calm, firm voice and use respectful words. Okay? So you just can check off that you're doing these things. And then how did it go? So now it says the words I would say assertively to ask the store clerk for help finding. So come up with something that you could say. So now it's asking you, if you do go to a real store, then you could try this. So if you happen to be at a store this week, you could maybe try it. But if it's not a store, I think it would maybe even be better for you to try this in the classroom. You know, maybe asking for help with something, or if, you know, maybe with a friend, sharing something with them. Come up with a place and a situation where you can practice being assertive. Okay, so it's really easy. It's not really much to it. And then you could send that back. And then the other part of your assignment is in your typing, you're doing the beginner review. So far we've had the typing assessment, the skill builder, and then you're going to do the beginner review this week. Okay, guys? So it's a pretty easy assignment this week. It really shouldn't take, gosh, that long. and catch up on anything if you're missing anything, all right? And I'll see you guys next time, okay? All right, bye guys. Have a good day.